was for any seat October and a day and a court a share doctor or no and a true letter as was signing my MP for Central Noble Kennedy. A compre ko in Japan say 14 days on Fantinefia engine a home local pimo court. Now court hold no more and same be na SEC Honoma and I walk money to details singing now or didn't in a prebusia for the most moon who near course supporting our court moon and then in summer air bano I if we hear any cocoa see he pan a course or court on any day.
Mame fancha kese nkoma ye tifo ne yahwefo nyina Nyankopon enso biara. Yes, indeed no Ghana no for now we are actually knowing say the rule of law exists and works, and we are hoping say minsema ekosi it won't just be a 9-day wonder say Agyapong pen and say be ebia ebimsu say okasa dodo intina was say a twina so, but this time I will be Obekasebia, he will go over the bar, regardless of the political party, the status, the stature, and in the Dibren will deal with every person accordingly. Because Mika Sem say, if you are using Agyapong as a scapegoat to actually bring sanctity and sanity in the system, then anybody who flaws the system needs to be dealt with. And then Agyapong, we all know the reason behind that. I mean, basically, the reason has to do or has to go with the fact that he, according to the doctors, no, Agyapong so he can actually continue with the court proceedings. Now, last week, Agyapong lawyers say the doctor of Agyapong has issued a 14-day stay at home, and I say an excuse duty form. All parties in Agyapong shouldn't go anywhere within a 14-day period or this form na mano until if you're not finding a home because Agyapong is not actually fit to actually go through the court proceedings, which means that no one and no much as a post-COVID-19 symptoms. Now, I know what think that the judge Anna Udia Justice Wuntawini, Justice Amos Wuntawini, his lordship, he actually made a statement. This particular excuse duty form, because at the time Anaka Agyapong case ne kwaswa obia pese what is ought to go on preko peno yama excuse duty form. We are all aware he had a coronavirus and later no he was actually discharged and he came out negative. BBC nevertheless no the judge, I don't know, maybe the judge also forgot say Agyapong no nipa obetimi asan asan yari biema coronavirus no ebetimi asan chini biema bro ni beka say he will get a second wave of the virus. Regardless, Justice Wuntawini Eka said, Doctor na or ma sa excuse the reform no Dr. Ado of the Holy Trinity Health and Spa Farm no more purchases. Our doctor normal excuse duty form no court's name tiasie, judge name tiasie. So to be better and prudent for this particular doctor to come and actually give a vivid account as to why he gave that excuse duty form and as to why he has given an excuse duty form this particular court case is going on, and also most importantly to actually validate the accuracy of this particular form. Say accuracy may part just say or more validate say no cre say excuse duty form no their man dikana say was here the man na. So they actually called the doctor and they say you allows you to more court Emma and ne court johnny case no today and the next one or and also any Agyapong lawyers and on Rankasa lawyer and a kupi moi the case went on the semi if it's a court case in the minuaba.
Okay, and now also case no it went on successfully. Then put in a course so Dr. Ado or the questions by the questions been be sad. Now you need I know ye ben or the Maya with no ye be a baby and so no a fuck quine so and yes say be or the delay court no where quine be as so no able and cook piwana bibisa.
The whole thing has to do with the fact that they want to probe further and know if this particular excuse duty form is not an attempt to derail the court proceedings. Let me break this down. The court is of the view and has, there's always two sides of the argument. So they look at both sides and there's an argument, say, and I said there's a probability, say, Agyapong is doing this to escape or actually drag the case. Say, be a person Agyapong and a cancer, person case, and because they'll delay the proceedings and a whole lot of things. And we don't know. Let me be honest, okay? What is going on now? To me, the judges, that's the bench. The bench and the bar. If I say the judges, to the of the view say, Agyapong has already is already of the fight say yenfa case ne enko Supreme Court. That is number one. Now, on my file application, but up to now, BBR, if Chief Justice have actually taken on the case or have actually says the case ne so the circuit court, and they should cancel it and on be Supreme Court. And according to sources are urban Agyapong lawyers, on my file, but they've not got response. But this thing could have taken time because it has to go through the processor. There's a lot of bureaucracy in terms of this whole law thing. We can't bureaucracy here, but through different processes. Good. So this particular thing coming at Agyapong excuse duty form. Nipa ni edi na asem no ni court. So in as much as the case can go on, it will be there will be setback. Ain't me cause authority. So obi be argue we say tactics at Agyapong and the lawyers no use so that they can delay the court proceedings and at the end of the day no ebi a time on be resume na ebi a Chief Justice and now say anything be able to me say we are moving the case to the High Court and then the Supreme Court and I say ebi a certain judges or mudi asem no because of conflict of interest no ebi a yes some money are there. So it could be a tactic at the same time to it could be true. It could be true. So the judges actually want to examine this particular stay at home and excuse duty from which came from the lawyer to know if indeed there is some authenticity in it. If it is carrying some authenticity, and at the end of the day, if it merits second Agyapong indeed needed a 14 days stay at home and I say 14 days excuse duty from the lawyer. So court proceedings now what went on and then Tuesday, October 6th, they were trying to examine the eligibility of that particular excuse form and as excuse duty form and the mark in Agyapong. Now, at the point, Justice Wuntawuni, Obisa Dr. Ado, that is Agyapong Doctor, Ebrana Court Kosono. Obisa, they say, Obika se, where almost said that ADIS Obika se, but literally, or see, Obika se Agyapong excuse duty form near the man no. Ya said that any other man say be delay the court case now. Obika sa no Dr. Ado no or dream was nipa no kasa no what does it feel? You see, this was a direct question. We needed a tactical and a practical and a sensible and smart answer. And a doctor replied, said no. He actually did not give the form to Agyapong to delay any court proceeding. In fact, Onoko Nimpose BBC air course because he's busy with patients near that. And he's been dealing with Agyapong a lot of time. He's been giving him stay at home and excuse for kind of unrest near there. And yet, Onya coronavirus on one who treated near there. So, Dr. Adono, in his words, no patch say excuse duty former or the mark Agyapong, he gave it genuinely. And yes, maybe or the mark in Japan say, delay court proceedings, no, as people are purporting.
Doctor, friend, Doctor Ado, any judges no, and some new question. One question now, judge until we ebisa doctor no, output form or the aba, or say is outpatient based, and answer doctor the man or say identina, MP no, excuse form no, ni age any so. And I reply a doctor and the man and they say outdoor so that his age is not noticed by anyone who sees the document. Judge will tell we need reply the man and they say MP for Sense Central honorable Canadian compare in Agyapong. Hey, college you from Ukraine age. So why I say or say on show ni age or so say you'll be able to document who MP ni age. A hawker no.
Yeah, that's one idea. Court in Semna El Coso. Now, a bit to me, I can say Donald Trump age. But in reality, that will not be his age. What the media and Wikipedia is putting out, no, Obina the court, Obina court troye. Wikipedia, ni pia ne court ya dini ma to wa ebu o create me ko information be update e wo ho. It's just a portal ye ne court church ne ma e fan form. So that place are all kase Agyapong no and the age no and so near there that one in there. Let me be honest with you. Argument in there. Let's shift that. I don't think say nobody is so valid in my sense. Now, one thing which also came up during the court proceedings was Agyapong's health conditions and the security of Agyapong. You see, every patient be on any doctor no confidentiality and as some sort of trust and bond and a secrecy between the two. Ebu ako page you a bit me bisa say your friend is saying what do you call it? Do you have any illness? Do you have any illness? And I say, Bibi also and do you have diabetes? They ask these things to know if that chibiano, your fawe juma, umbe yari and really jumano. What I say, it means okay, looking at the patient's health near the other, your money post, I'll be transfer, so they look at all of these components. Do you get what I'm saying? So things which go on between a doctor and a patient, usually, it is actually between them. So, what doctor and one shiny na folder another file of the patient, it goes out. Minuaba because they can sue you. Ghana Hana said you don't take things serious about broaching that these things do happen. One of the things Dr. Ado was arguing is that this whole thing should be an in-court hearing. What am I saying? One of this whole thing should be an in-court hearing. An in-court hearing is to protect Agyapong because there are certain vital images. Ye bisana untimi chantro. Into untimi chantro no ye bisa se Agyapong or condition ben say ni say. And these are things only wo personal into oko kan or court no ye di camera ni ade basis in so press or no. We are putting an information a secret. So the doctor was of the view saying in camera. In camera, and they say, person will be it will just be the judges and them. Camera will be there, so later they can examine the footage. But Judge Winter will need declined. Okay. Say, I know dear, I think said that one too is something that amount for any account. No, this case we need to look at it critically. Yes.
Case dear, doctor no.
Yes.
Okay. Into no, Judge Winter will need or say any idea or be payama doctor ado ni inke. Camera call some of us the camera so any debate but now it's ni abesi wo any day judge or the final verdict be about pointing with Dr. Ado any Canadians and same who an access to na same say to sheda akosheda foforo say yes so emfa koyenim.
Yeah, definitely we share the whole case near the adena meet makachos and same dey omugusu dia examine it information and say assembly to sheda enye. Now let me clarify this particular thing here. I was talking about in camera na court na here justice with Dr. Adona or pay ama ne client in court eka said they be encouraged. But there was another argument Urban say okay so court empene say be in camera, then if they should ask him certain questions na okanokra and no is putting the patients, is putting his profile and information be also a secret outside. For example, let me give a scenario which is wrong and correct. Say HIV is. So he's been treating himself for the past 5 years. Then the judge will ask which disease is Agyapong suffering from. The coronavirus in your dream. Then the doctor, because I was so kind of a competent court jurisdiction, and he swear by oath to say the truth at all times. So Bitimaka say, indeed, Agyapong, HIV. Do you think it's going to be good for Agyapong, his image and his brand?
No.
You get what I'm saying? So this whole thing boiled down to a place and not Agyapong and the lawyers, and the doctor and the lawyers, they were arguing and say, this particular thing, in camera. And yes, sir, certain vital information will come out. And Justice Winter say they just want to examine the excuse deed form. They won't go beyond. They won't come below that particular excuse deed form. They just want to examine the competency of that form which was given to Agyapong. So Minoka say Justice Winter on the chambers they've actually gone to an agreement. Say they will not dive into Agyapong's medical details. Say there been a year no coronavirus ne shasi fihi there been illness ne sans and no they can ask of that. But if you are doing that for the press to see, concerned journalists will be in the quarter, they will trace things and say it and make it headline and also it's putting Agyapong at a larger risk until they say they will just dive to actually scrutinize this excuse deed form Agyapong. So that is what is going on, and definitely the case it is still ongoing now. We know say yes and there to a later data they'll be hearing it because there's more word which is going on saying they need to actually cross-examine this particular excuse deed form.
Okay, judges say diving more into honorable Canadian medical reports more and any other doctor no asem no entum say honorable ne ho fa no until here a 14-day rest e ma no enko court e ma no enko baby on na fie ade no mu jintum keke na ye for doctor akoye tu asem aheda if only say no mo ka some dive into the medical reports deeply no sanetia
You see, they are looking at the case. Could this be? And I'm kind of can say, your man excuse you to form, but it's not in any time. Remember, if this thing had happened before the court case, they will understand. But it happened during the court case, and it happened at a point in time, and now the defendant was actually unwilling to actually go to the court or share the whole contest in Japan. Your friend the first one because he claims that we the necessary documents to actually make him to go there. So from the beginning, in Japan was not really willing to. So they are believing and sense that this is something which has gone on, and King Japan is trying to use any means ever, any tactics to derail the court. So they are trying to examine the authenticity. No cry I was excuse you from and obinim ye bia also operation that we probed him, we spoke about it, we scrutinized him. If King Japan perhaps is going on that order, I will see you scrutinize that particular form how authentic it is. It may be true, it may be false, because obinim ye can once even he King Japan condemn obinim's action. So if something like this is going on, we need to examine King Japan's excuse form and see if indeed asemno excuse duty from Nedema valid and answer valid. I know he's in the house, but all that the court is doing is to know the authenticity of this particular thing. The excuse duty from my Diama King Japan. One thing or can ye mamin koti I say. Justice Wuntawuni, there were a lot of arguments from the bar, and Omoka said the whole thing okay in Japan, the confidentiality, the secret man, because honestly, sir, Abia. Me were a certain conditioner. Dr. Akachem saying the next 5 or years, Nana, you won't leave. What I say, me, I've come into terms with it. But say, Abia, a buy out, some adofu be mutia. Meet me the who prepare and answer, I am to share crew. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A serious thing. So, Justice Wunte, when he was being probed on that particular thing several times, he said categorically, quote, this matter before the court does not bother on confidentiality, which means I don't agree with him. He has been invited to speak a medical excuse duty form that his son, Justice Wunta Wuni, held. You know, we all have our exceptions and perceptions about what is going on and how we see things. They are doing a good job, but in as much as me to criticize on baby because the thing is in courts, contempt. This particular statement, well, if he's saying that they should be on path, because if it's nibino, yes, I'm afraid Dr. Nibiumna Equaye say, Dr. Naka, Sebi King Japan or diabetes, King Japan, Sebi, he was diagnosed with hypertension. If all of these things come because they are probing the doctor more and more, at the end of the day, Charlie, the guy, AEL Torex. And remember, 14 days, it's just some few days away.
14 days, Nakahe.
I can't be 4 days or 5 days, be pay. Because as a last week, I can in Japan, this week, so it's just left with some few days, now 14 days now, and it's just 2 weeks. No matter what, in the next 4 days, he will still be going. So why would they still be proving? Let the courts do their job, by the way. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the end of the day, this was what went on in court. In no time, in 4 days' time, King Japan will be appearing before the bar, before the court again, the bench again, and they will decide his fate, whichever way. Into at the end of the day, there's that thing. So even if the verdict does not go in his favor, then they can take it to the appeals court. Then they can even take it to the Supreme Court. Remember, the ties can change. You see, I'm not bringing out the verdict yet, but me so may come your opinion. Let me state it here because of the way the whole case is. A bit member say King Japan can lose this case. A bit member say he should serve a term. Maybe 2 months and I be oppressed. And I say you be finding be 1 million and so and maybe 100,000 Ghana cedis. Near finding and you just say he can actually appeal the decision. To be appeal with different courts. Obetima escalated the situation to a Supreme Court. It's a honor, yet the choir, yes, I singing from the beginning to hear the case again. It's a honor, it will be Canadian Japan. And the judges are or Mokase in Japan, they are holding him for contempt. They will listen to both sides.
Okay.
It's a no sano, and no yes, a wood judge no na ebia would dear sem because justice won't tell you not tear same no dear or parties judge. But this time around, the Supreme Court is going to hear both the judge's account and King Japan's accounts. At the end of the day, they can sustain on that argument. Say indeed, we normally buy a valid verdict normally buy a valid King Japan could them. And as a King Japan, you are fine. At the same time, so they can go on the verdict say, verdict from the buyer. It's not really no. Among the no, and said that end them sa in Japan no uncle free.
Okay.
So it varies. So we shouldn't just jubilate and we shouldn't just cry yet. Anything can happen. I believe at the end of the day, the justice we all want will be served. If it is for Kenya, whatever will come out, which will be the best of Ghana, yes.
Okay, into kra no da ben na yetu asemi akoshe da ye Dr. Ado na sem no akoshe da na ye fan sorry.
If I'll be honest with you, me said that near date near, but I believe it's just within this particular week or so. Yes.
Okay, let's say that's a panning chichimu odi amabusia for na say ende Honorable Kennedy akompre ko hini Agyapong ni lawyer Dr. Ado Kennedy ono na was sign report say Honorable Kennedy enkofi onkotena senje na home 14 days or hen when to na yensi baby ano say was sign akonya kokopie mu court na court share say na wokoye or de ose ayo no de wanyare ono de wankase wanya samon bia wakọ okopie mu so no in camera na ope no judges decline no so mama ne kwan say sabe ko no nyomo pe no ombe na emom no omo dive into Honorable Kennedy ni medical reports mu so omo nko down enko hu yale property ni hia ne so mehu no kra efa reporter doctor no edema lawyers but lawyers no ebe present edema ye court no